And in a month, you'll be a father.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Yes. I used to be a rower, and in high school, all I ever wanted to do was be on the junior national rowing team. Now, rowing is kind of an obscure sport. You have 8 people, and they all sit backwards in the boat. And then you have a coxswain who steers the boat and barks out orders. And it's also a grueling sport. You have these really hard, long practices. And you have to do this every day. And it requires a lot of dedication. You have to row every day, sometimes twice a day, all year. But I loved it. And I still love it. Now, in high school, in my senior year, I had a really good indoor rowing test. And soon after, the national team rowing coach, he called me up and he said, okay, I'm going to invite you to the rowing camp, to the selection camp, so you don't have to worry about that. But what I want you to do is imagine being at the World Championships on the awards dock with a gold medal around your neck. I thought it was nuts. Here I was, just excited to be invited to this rowing camp. And he was talking to me about gold medals and award docks. So that summer, I went to the camp. And it was in Ithaca at Cornell University. And 70 of us showed up. And kids from all over the country. And we spent the first month seat racing and competing with each other. And seat racing is where you take 2 boats and you race. And then you take one person from one boat and you swap them with the other person, with another person from another boat, and you race again. And you can pretty quickly tell who's the better rower. And we did that every day, twice a day for a month, and it was intense. And during that process, we had cuts, which is where they would call the rowers together, and the coach would literally read off the people who were being sent home. And it was an intense experience. And we were 18-year-old boys or men, so we didn't show a lot of emotion, but it was an intense time. So now the boat was set. We were a month into the summer, and I was lucky enough to make the boat. And the coach put me in the bow seat, which is the front of the boat, and I was thrilled. There I was on the national rowing team. And we spent the rest of the summer just practicing as a team. We worked on our blade work and our technique and our endurance, and we spent a lot of time going around to different races, and we went to Dartmouth and we practiced with the junior national, or the junior lightweight team. And they were a really slick crew. They had really great blade work. And we were lucky enough to just spend some time in some really tight races with them, sitting one seat down, or dead even, and just being mindful of what we were doing, and just focusing on our own boat and our own rowing, and not worrying about the other crew. Because the thing about rowing is you can only affect your own boat. You can only make yourself go faster. But there's a psychological component where if you, remember you're facing backwards, so if you see the boat in your peripheral vision start to slip away and move ahead of you, it's really demoralizing. So we were lucky to have some really good racing experience. And then the summer was over, and I'm at the World Rowing Championship sitting at the starting line. And to set the stage, we're facing backwards. We're in Montreal at the rowing center, and it's essentially a swimming pool that was made for rowing, and it's about 1.25 miles long, it's about 2,000 meters, and it's 6 lanes wide, and it's buoyed, and the buoys just disappear off into the distance. And that's behind us, and in front of us is this huge tower where the officials stand on this platform, and they've got their blazers and straw hats, and it's very formal. And up above the officials is this clock with this old clock with the numbers flap over, and it makes this noise. And then it was 4 o'clock, and it was time for our race to start. And the official pulls the crews, which is this formality where they see if the crews are ready. And of course we're ready. We've spent the last 2-3 years of our lives preparing for this moment. And so he says, Spain, ready. And I can't say that without getting goosebumps on the back of my neck. Spain, ready. Germany, ready. Great Britain, ready. USA, ready. Ready, go. And we went, and we tore at the oar, and we went berserk, and we were spastic, and we had a terrible race. It was awful. And Germany won easily. And our coach pulled us aside afterwards, and luckily this was only the heat, it was only the beginning. And he pulled us aside, and he did some interesting things. He sat us down in the parking lot there, and he had us sit like we were in the boat, sitting at the starting line, and he would say, Spain, are you ready? Germany, are you ready? And he just practiced this sitting at the starting line, and so we got used to hearing what it sounded like and feeling like to be at the starting line. And he also told us that we shouldn't do anything extra. We shouldn't do anything special on race day. We should just show up and do what we do every day. And what he said was, show up like a brown paper bag lunch, nothing fancy. So the next day we showed up to the repechage, which essentially means second chance in French. And we had a great race. We won easily. And so we advanced on to the final, where we met Germany and Russia. Germany was favored to win. There were these hulking 6'4", amazing rowers. And Russia was supposed to come in second place. They were all 6'6", just these engineered rowing machines. And I thought in the back of my mind, wouldn't it be great if we won a bronze medal? We came in third at the World Rowing Championships. So, cut to the finals. We're sitting at the starting line. The tower's there, the officials, they pull the crews, and we go. And Russia was out of there. They just blasted off. They had the fastest start I've ever seen, and luckily they ran out of steam after about a quarter of the race. And the rest of the pack started to fall behind, and it was just Germany, and next to them was the United States. One seat down, even. One seat down, even. And we did that the whole way down the race course. And in the last 20 strokes, we snuck away and ended up winning by 3 seats. So there we were on the awards dock, Germany on our left, Russia on our right, and the little Americans, gold medals around their necks.